Hey, friends and family. It's me, Felicia Brown, CEO and Executive Director of Let Spirit Lead, Inc., where we are on a mission to revolutionize the community development and affordable housing space using coaching, consulting, and housing innovation. There's been a lot going on in my world. I know it's been a while since I posted a video and have shared anything with you all. And as one of my favorite people, Pastor Reginald Wayne Sharp Jr., says, life be lifin'. And that's definitely been the case with me these last several weeks. I know it's been probably about a month and a half, and I wanted to get on and give you guys an update on what's going on in the affordable housing world, but also just offer you some general encouragement to keep keeping on in times that are really challenging. You know, there's two things that really prompted me to get back to this video and making videos in the affordable housing world that are a little bit shocking. One is that I just read an article that I will post with this video that of all of the places that are most unaffordable in the world, the top 10 cities that are unaffordable, four of them are in California. So that means that California is literally ground zero in terms of the affordable housing crisis, which means that Let Spirit Lead is in just the right place to make an impact. Those four places in California are San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Jose, two of them being here in Southern California and two of them being in Northern California. Here in Southern California, where I live and was born and raised and still reside, the Inland SoCal region, also known as the Inland Empire, encompassing Riverside and San Bernardino counties, is definitely, I think, a diamond in the rough and a great place for our organization to start trying to move the needle on the affordable housing crisis, being that we are situated right in between two of those cities, Los Angeles and San Diego. The second piece of news that I wanted to share, which many of you may have heard, which is absolutely positively unfortunate to say the least, is that today the Supreme Court ruled that it is now punishable to sleep in public, that is something that law enforcement can definitely press and enforce. It was something before that was keeping people from sweeping homeless encampments throughout the state and other Western states. But now, basically, the Supreme Court has ruled that it is not unconstitutional to fine, jail people who are sleeping in public. Well, I have news. One is that everybody has to sleep. It's a human being thing. And two, most people are sleeping outside and in public places because there's nowhere for them to go. There definitely is not enough housing, shelter, beds for everyone in the state of California who is experiencing homelessness. There's nowhere near enough. Just being in the Inland SoCal region, I can tell you right now, as a practitioner, a community development practitioner, and an affordable housing advocate, that there's nowhere near enough beds for people. And what it means that, as Karen Bass said in an article that I'll also post, that means that people who are living in extremely unaffordable areas like LA will likely get swept and pushed into places like the Inland SoCal region. It's just unfortunate. There's no way that we're going to be able to handle that. But a lot of people just want to push those who are experiencing homelessness somewhere else so that they don't have to deal with them. Now, don't get me wrong. I certainly understand the challenges associated with our neighbors without homes. However, the answer to homelessness is homes. Building more homes and affordable housing is the answer to homelessness. Not jailing people, not arresting people, not fining people, which is just making it that much more difficult for them to ever get back on their feet. The answer to all of this is building affordable housing. So let's get together and let's get going on building more affordable housing and start really addressing this issue. Let's work together to solve this. And unfortunately, there are those who want to put a Band-Aid on it, and that's expensive. Not only is it expensive for the people who unfortunately get fined and jailed, but it's expensive for the jurisdictions who have to deal with all of that, adjudication costs for jailing people. It costs jurisdictions more. In fact, it would just make more sense for you to, here's a novel thought, build more housing, which is what Let Spirit Lead aims to do. And again, we're in the perfect place to do it. But what I wanted to jump on and talk about even more so than that, I want to keep you informed, but I want to keep you encouraged, is that there are things that are going to come up that are going to throw us off, right? Things that are going to knock us down, but there is the ability to get back up on your feet and keep it on and keep pressing. Since I posted the last video, I've had some really serious things happen. Unfortunately, I have a nephew, bless him, who's 24 years old, who was in Santa Monica, LA, and was hit by a car, hit and run, and he's now, unfortunately, in a coma at UCLA Medical Center. That turned my family upside down. I didn't feel like doing any videos. In fact, it took everything that I could to just kind of support my brother, support my family, get to the hospital as many times as I could. I live pretty much 2 hours away from the hospital, easy. But these things come up. I had a loss in the family just last week, a death in the family. These are things that I'm sure many of you are experiencing challenging times as well. But this is just a quick note and some tips on how to keeping on and how to get back on track when life kind of is turned upside down for you. So the first one I wanted to say is you can begin again. A month and a half ago, I had every intention of continuing to post videos as I shared, right? I conquered my fear. I got on there and I was like, I'm going to keep posting these videos until I get it right. And then stuff happens, right? Right. We have to prioritize appropriately. I have a fellow CEO friend who her mom went through surgery. Mom comes first, my family comes first, my baby comes first, all of that comes first. So you can focus on your priorities and begin again. So this month is June. Happy June. We're getting back on track and we're back to the grind on moving the needle on the affordable housing crisis. So you'll see more videos coming from me in the coming weeks. But the idea here is you can begin again. Don't worry about it. Things are gonna throw us off. Someone that I follow, Rebecca Lynn Pope, I think in the last 2 months I've heard her say, I'm back twice, because she was going through a lot in her life. We're human. Just know that when things come along and knock you off track, you can always begin again. It doesn't matter how long it takes you. Just keep getting back up, as Steve Harvey says. Just get back up. And you can begin again. The second thing that I wanted to share is you've got to lean on something that's bigger than yourself. I know some of you are like, what? Like, yeah, there's something bigger than yourself. For me, what I lean on is my faith. In prayer. I'm definitely a supporter in prayer changes things. But this doesn't have to be a spiritual or a religious related thing, just something in a world that's so crazy and things that are so unstable. Just find something bigger than yourself for you to lean on. For some people, that is their own human spirit and the spirit inside of them and their higher selves. For some, they may lean on a practice that's like physical exercise. It could be breath, right? And breath work. It could be yoga. It could be a number of different things that you can find. But this world is crazy and it's getting crazier and crazier by the day. Find something bigger than yourself to lean on. And for me, that's a higher power that I call God. And I'm wondering, what is it that you can lean on that's bigger than yourself, that can keep you stable and anchored in a very unstable world. Okay. And then last but not least, tip number 3, find someone, whether it's someone who's living, whether it's someone who's passed away, whether it's a great, popular, well-known figure, or just someone in your personal life, whether it's a biblical figure or whatever your faith is, someone from whatever religious text, find someone that you can look to, that you can relate to, and that you can find encouragement and inspiration from. I was recently watching this wonderful documentary, and I'll see if I can also share it here on Netflix, that was all about Moses. And man, I can't tell you how inspired I was by that documentary. It turns out that Moses is the only character that can be found in both the Bible and the Torah and in the Quran. And it had people from all of those different walks of life and those different faiths and religions talking about the inspiration that Moses provided to their people. And I was like, That's amazing. The story of Moses is absolutely positively amazing. And I am definitely one that looks at his story and says, if he can do it, I can do it, right? Find somebody that you can look to for that inspiration, for that guidance, for that encouragement. It may be a life coach. I just got off the phone with one of my best friends who was saying that her life coach has totally been that light for her. It can be someone in your family, right? Your grandmother, your great grandmother, but someone that you can look to say, I can do this, right? I can draw from their inspiration and I can keep keeping on and I can push and do what it is that I was called to do in this life, right? So, having said all of that, I hope that you all have found some usefulness in kind of what it is that I had to share. Like I said, it's really great to be back with all of you. I definitely will look forward to sharing more in the coming weeks. But in the meantime, just be encouraged, keep keeping on. If you feel so called, definitely find a way to support affordable housing. I've told you a million times over, probably. I think that one of the most pressing social issues of our time is the intersection of affordable housing and equity. It's something that's not going to go away. We're going to have to solve this one way or the other. For those of you who aren't in California, here's the thing with affordable housing, it's a nationwide thing for sure. Anywhere across the United States, like even right now, you may be like, we don't have a problem with homelessness. We don't have a problem with affordable housing. It's coming to a town near you if it's not already there. It could very well be there and you just don't know it. So, having said all of that, find a way to support. What role can you play in solving the affordable housing crisis? It affects us all. If one of us is homeless, all of us are homeless, especially when we're talking about things like children who are growing up without a stable place to live and without enough to eat. It's very difficult to stay healthy when you don't have anywhere to live. So, having said all of that, I hope you will find some organization, if not Let Spirit Lead, to support that is trying to and will and is determined to solve the affordable housing crisis. Until the next video, I appreciate you all. Love and blessings. Have a good one.